everybody, and welcome to this Thanksgiving special of Cooking with Coastline, where we're going to be doing some special and a little unusual side dishes today. I'm going to be doing a Parmesan garlic roasted mushrooms. And mushrooms, not a typical side dish you would think about doing with Thanksgiving, but they're loaded in vitamins and fiber and all this really great stuff. So I think they're underutilized and should be at Thanksgiving.
I'm very excited because I love mushrooms.
Me too.
Very excited for that dish. And I'm going to be making a sweet potato casserole with a maple, almond, and
pecan.
Any
kind of nuts you want, really, you could do in that. It's so good. You guys are gonna love these recipes. So the first thing that we're gonna do is I have my mushrooms here. Jess, if you wouldn't mind spraying the pan for me. That way they don't get stuck to the bottom of the pan. You can do any kind of mushrooms you want. You know, you can make them as big as you want, cut them as small as you want. But I like my mushrooms to have a lot of like meat to them, so to speak. So I'm just gonna take my mushrooms and put them in the pan. There we go. Spread that on out. Okay. And so now we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of olives. And Jess and I were talking about this earlier, that she's not a huge fan of olives, and that's quite all right. You can do capers if you like capers, or any other kind of vegetable really would be
you can do like
so
tomatoes
delicious.
or peppers or onions.
Yep.
So I would definitely substitute these out, but
I know.
if you like olives, that's great.
Yeah. But yeah, any kind of roasting vegetables, it's such a great way to sneak in all those extra wonderful nutrients, you know? But I think that would be a great choice. A great choice. And again, you can put as many or as little as you want. Maybe I won't put as much because because of Jess's preferences. Okay, so coarsely chopped. We're just gonna put these in here. Already it smells so wonderful. And now I'm gonna chop up some fresh parsley. And if you didn't have any fresh parsley at home, you could do, like the dried parsley. If you liked any other kind of fresh herbs, if you liked rosemary, rosemary would be delicious with this as well.
Would you like me to add the lemon juice on top, or do you wait until after the?
You could do it now if you want, absolutely. So I'm just coarsely chopping this up here.
And I am just putting the juice of half a lemon on top here.
Yep. Add some nice acidity to it.
It smells delicious too.
It does. Okay. What a beautiful pop of color. Oh, so pretty. Your guests will love this. They will love it. Now I have 3 cloves of fresh garlic already chopped up. Put that on here. And again, if you didn't have fresh garlic on hand, you could do garlic powder or any other kind of seasoning. Okay. And a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. Oh, and I wanted to mention too that I found low sodium olives at the store. I was so excited when I found that. Yeah, see, healthy eating, it's just little changes here and there that can really make a difference in the dish that you're preparing. And so the recipe had called for, I found quite a lot of butter. So I just cut that down. It just says to put a couple of cubes here and there. You don't need much, or if you use margarine at home, that's fine. I'm the kind of person that if I'm gonna have butter, I'm gonna have really good butter, and just use a little bit of it. Exactly. Okay.
So we have preset the oven for 450 degrees, so that's all ready to go.
Correct. And so we're just gonna pop our mushrooms in the oven. Yep, so they'll be on for about 20 minutes. Thank you so much. My hands are all buttery. So that's gonna go in the oven for about 20 minutes, and then we're gonna take it out and put it on the broiler, add some freshly grated Parmesan cheese over it. It's gonna get all nice and melty and cheesy. It's gonna be fabulous. And how easy was that?
It was so simple.
So easy. So we have enough to do on Thanksgiving, right? So it's good if we just have a quick little recipe to throw in the oven. And Jess, take it.
On to my recipe.
On to your
All
recipe.
right, so like I said, we're gonna be doing a sweet potato casserole with a maple pecan topping. So what we've done is we've already pre-boiled 3 pounds of the sweet potatoes and we've cubed them and so they're soft and ready to go. So we're gonna start mashing these here. And then we're gonna start adding some of our ingredients. Actually, Steph, if you wanna help by starting to mash and then I can add stuff in.
Yes.
Do teamwork here. So I'm gonna be adding in maybe 1.5 tablespoons. The recipe called for 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, but that's a little on the sweet side. So we're gonna just do 1.5. Cut out some sugar right there doing that. So,
and those of you who are diabetics, sweet potatoes are great for diabetics because they don't jack up your blood sugar. So you don't want to add too much sugar on top of, you know, the lower sugar vegetable there.
And then we're also going to add in some brown sugar. So we're going to do a couple tablespoons here.
And you can do as little, you know, as much or as little as you like.
You can do anything for this to taste. So there's that. We're going to be adding in some almond milk. Do 1/3 cup here. And then we're going to add in some butter. This one also called for a lot of butter too. It was 6 tablespoons, but I'm going to be doing maybe about 3 here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm just cutting in some of this.
And I like how this recipe doesn't have the marshmallows. You know, if you get those sweet potato casseroles, I find them to be overly sweet.
Yeah, I'm not a big sweet person.
Tons of marshmallows in them, you know, and this, I mean, this does have some sweetness to it, but I feel like it's not overdone, you know?
Right. All right, so I'm also gonna add in a little bit of cinnamon and then a little bit of salt.
And you get a great arm workout as well.
Yes.
I can feel my muscles getting toned as we speak.
A little bit of salt to balance out with some of that sweetness. We're adding a lot of sweetness to it, so. Okay.
It smells awesome.
You can take over if you want. Use a spoon too.
Sure.
So I'm going to be adding this to the casserole dish, and then we're going to put this aside. I'm going to start making the topping. And then for this, the oven should be set for 350 degrees.
And for how long? How long does it bake in the oven for?
It's going to be a half an hour.
Half an hour.
Yep.
Okay. Again, half hour. Not a lot of time. That's great.
Right. All right. So I'm going to mix this in here. All right.
Okay.
I'm just going to flatten this out and then put this to the side. Like so. You could also, we put this in a round dish just because we had a round dish here. You could put it in a larger rectangular baking dish, however you want to do it. So push that off to the side. We're going to grab a bowl for our topping. We are going to be using 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. So I'm going to start with that. We're going to cut it down maybe for this recipe too.
Yeah,
I don't think we need this much
No.
sugar.
No.
This much
Like
sweetness. I'm more of like a hearty tasting.
Yeah.
Flavor, so we're gonna do that. What we also are going to be doing, instead of using like a regular flour or wheat flour, we're going to be making our own almond flour. Yeah. This will give it a more nutty flavor. So what we've done is I've grabbed some almonds that we had already in the kitchen, and then we're using a coffee grinder, and then we're just gonna grind these up. So we have this right here. Shake it around a little bit. All right.
See, it's not that complicated to make your own flour. Really, really simple.
No, so we're gonna take the top off
here. And how many
here.
of us have like a coffee grinder at home, you know, that we can just throw that in there?
So we're just gonna add that in. And then if you want to start cutting up some of my pecans. We're just gonna coarsely chop some pecans up. Put this. Pour some in here. And then we're just going to be adding a little bit of butter to this as well.
You know, with Thanksgiving, one of the things that I like to tell people, you know, because they think about, you know, some of the calories that are in the dishes that they're consuming, and, you know, sometimes it's best if you love a dish so much, you know, don't alter it, but just have a smaller portion of it. You know what I mean? Like my mother-in-law makes a chocolate chip pie that is fabulous, absolutely fabulous, but we only have it, you know, a couple times a year. So it's better to have sometimes, you know, just a smaller portion of something that you really enjoy, you know, as opposed to maybe changing or altering the recipe. So that's one of the things that I like to look at is how often are you making portion that control. Recipe.
Yep.
Yes.
At its finest. You can just stick it right in here. So now we have the almond flour, the chopped up pecans, the maple syrup, and then a little bit of butter. And then we're just going to put this right on top here. Mix this up a little bit. It's better to use your hands because you have the butter in there already, so the consistency is a little tough to just kind of spoon out. So just use your hands and kind of just put it on top like this. And then it's not something that's supposed to cover the entire casserole. This is just like a slight topping.
Crumble.
Yeah, a little crumble. So.
And for those of you who may have a gluten allergy, this is considered gluten-free as well. So if you have any guests who are coming over who have food allergies, this would be a good one for gluten-free. Okay. Like we said, we already have the oven ready for 350, and then we're going to put this in for about half an hour. And then you can take a look every so often to make sure that the pecans and the almonds are not getting too toasty. So we're going to stick this in. Okay, Jess, so I'm just gonna take it out of the broiler now.
Ooh, that smells delicious and it looks delicious.
Oh, so, so good. And I'm actually gonna pull the casserole out of the oven as well.
Okay.
Let's go. Two delicious sides with a fun little twist on them.
All right, and I'm gonna grab our plates so that we can try some of this.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And so I will just spoon off some of this right here. Make sure to get a little topping for you.
Yes, a little bit of crumble, thank you.
There you go. Just that.
And I'm just gonna take a couple of mushrooms here. Smells so good. You can smell the garlic and the cheese and oh, this is amazing. So, so good. Bon appetit.
Yes.
Get some crumble in there.
That's really good. The casserole, because it's not too sweet.
No,
it's not one of those.
It's really not.
Marshmallow topping ones like we talked about before. It's nice because it has more of like the earthy, nutty flavor because you have the almonds and the pecans in there.
I find it very comforting too. Very comforting, you know, because it's warm, it's got all these like really rich, wonderful flavors to it, and then it has a little bit of a crunch to it. So texture people will be very happy with this dish.
Definitely. Now I want to try the mushrooms, which I'm excited about because they're my favorite. Make sure I get around the olives though. Oh, I think that's maybe one of my favorite things we've ever cooked. I really like that.
Parmesan cheese is the best too. Can I just say? Nice and salty, but we didn't add too much to, you know, it just gives that little bit of salty flavor to it. Definitely going to be using this as a side on Thanksgiving for sure. Okay.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for our next episode, and we'll see you soon. Happy holidays, everyone.
Bye.